Hello and welcome to the second season of Brand News, the podcast. I'm Charlotte Emily, your host, and I'm thrilled to partner with winkelstraat.nl, your go-to spot for all things luxury fashion, connecting international retailers and emerging luxury brands with the trend-setting youth of today. This season, we're delving even deeper into the world of brands and style. Every episode, we'll uncover the latest news, trends, and expert insights with the help of industry insiders. From exclusive interviews to behind-the-scenes moments, gear up to expand your fashion horizons with Brand News brought to you by winkelstraat.nl. Enjoy the show. I'm your host, Charlotte Emily, and today I'm speaking with Karim. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Also amazing.
Oh, we started already?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We've spoken to each other a lot, but I think it's just kind of the same, but then with microphone.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast. It's an honor to have you here with me today, and I'm excited to speak about your career path because it's really interesting and inspiring.
Thank you so much for having me.
We know each other from your time at Daily Paper, and that's where your career started. You started in 2015 and you stayed there for about 7 years.
Yeah.
I was wondering about your career. We'll start there. How did you start there? What did you study?
So we're gonna go back a year before that.
Okay.
So I was interning at this cultural youth center called No Limit in Amsterdam Southeast for a man called Angelo Bromet, and he did a lot of activations in the city. He was part of the first group of people that did activations in Paradiso Noord or Tolhuistuin.
Yeah.
That really booted basically the life in that place. And he also did a party called Afro Losjes, which is one of the first successful Afro parties in the Netherlands. And I was interning for him, and he knew the guys at Daily Paper.
Yeah.
And at this time, I was still a student studying marketing communication. And I was just a fan of the brand. And this was before Jay-Z and Beyonce wore it. And they had 3 stores in New York, London, Amsterdam, etc. And I was just, it was kind of like a thing at my internship. Like, oh, Karim's really into Daily Paper. Oh, Karim's really into Daily Paper. And then one time they actually did a masterclass together with Ron Simpson in Stichting Nowhere, I believe it was, in Amsterdam West. And that's where I first met the guys at Daily Paper. And at the end of their masterclass, they basically asked the crowd, hey, we're looking for interns. If anyone's interested, raise your hand.
Nice.
So immediately I raised my hand, and all my friends were like, Karim, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. And that's, in short, how that started. Then I sent, Jefferson was the one that said all of this. And he also said, yo, send me a cover letter. Make sure there's no mistakes in it, blah, 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 whatever. So I did that. Then I waited months, or not months, but weeks. With no reply. So then I mailed again. Then I had someone else, Angelo Bromet, reach out to them. And that's basically where I finally got the conversation, and I finally got the chance to start as an intern.
Okay, so during your studies?
During my studies, yeah. So also, I worked there from 2015 till 2022.
Yeah.
We're doing this in English, so I'm going to make this as easy as possible for the international folks. I basically did college and university.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I did.
Because the Dutch school systems are so different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so while I was doing college, I was interning there. I was doing like administration work, whatever tasks there was. Whatever they asked me to do, basically.
Yeah.
I did customer service, literally anything. And this was during like school, actually, because I didn't have, at first I didn't officially start my internship period.
Okay.
So I would just come like after school, do my quick little invoices, administration, whatever. Yeah. And then I went to the Albert Heijn to work there from 7 till closing. That's how I started.
Yeah.
And then eventually that changed into me going to the sales team, transitioning to the sales team, going to fashion weeks, etc., and where basically the big league started for me.
So then you were on the sales department, and you worked with amazing brands or stores like Selfridges and Kith New York, so many, and clothing, the Bijenkorf, lots of marketplaces. So how does that feel coming from college, an internship, and then being put into that position? I can imagine it's quite something, especially because of the brand's growth at that time.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy to be part of the daily paper boom, as I call it, because when I worked there, that's when, I believe 2016, 2017, that's when really the boom came in, and they started having products that were really popular, the daily paper waist bags or the cargo pants.
Yeah. And the what's it called, the Captain
Captain
logo? Yeah.
The Captain hoodie, the Captain sweater. Exactly. And I was just there observing and learning every day, seeing how they decided to do things and work with wholesale partners where other brands at the time were mainly doing B2C and not doing a lot of wholesale, and doing a lot of colors while other brands were doing the black and white. It was really special to be part of that moment, also because back in 2017 was the first time they took me to Paris Fashion Week, and that's where my whole world changed.
Yeah.
That's where my whole world changed.
It's also my favorite memories of working in the fashion industry. It's
Your
just
first time?
Just everything in Paris.
Oh, just everything in Paris.
I feel definitely the first time I went to Paris for Fashion Week is special, but just every time you go, it's special all over again.
Mm.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to prepare for my first time Paris Fashion Week, I was like, yo, this is gonna be my first time there. I'm gonna see everyone's there. Naomi Campbell, Kanye West. You know of all these people that are gonna be there.
Yeah.
So you just want to look your best as well. So I went to the Feeling Pieces store. I bought the newest sneakers that they had back at the time, which was this pink and beige low top sneaker that they had. And at the time I had a girlfriend, and I bought her actually a matching pair with me.
Sweet.
I went to a lot of places and got a lot of different clothing. And then I went there. This was back when trade shows were still a thing. Mm. And what was the name again of the trade show in Paris?
Man, Woman.
Man, yeah. It's not called Man, Woman.
Major fail.
No. Man, Woman. Capsules. Capsule.
It's a different one, yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
Capsule.
Okay.
Do you know that one?
Is it the one which is with a lot of sneakers? I've forgotten the place. The name.
Not necessarily. There were sneakers, but not a lot of sneakers. But this was one of the main trade shows in Paris at the time.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember Ronnie Fieg had a stand there. Mason Garments was there. Daily Paper was there. New Amsterdam Surf Association, which operated under a different name back then. I think at that time it was De Zeep, was there. And it was actually also his first time.
Nice.
And I just remember being there at the booth, standing there, ready to sell to whoever. And all of a sudden, Sarah Andelman walks by. And I'm like, holy shit, that's Sarah Andelman from Colette.
Yeah.
And I was just flabbergasted. And Jefferson was with me, and he already knew Sarah Andelman because we sold at Colette. So he was just like, yo, chill.
Yeah. You were freaking out. Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily freaking out. I was just excited.
Yeah.
And then he just started talking to her, and I was just observing. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Small world. Everything is possible.
Yeah. I can imagine it was a really good learning school, working also with the founders of Daily Paper, and definitely during that time. But do you feel did you know how big it was going to get the brand, how big the brand was going to get when you were like in that growth?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it would be what it has become today. And also, it was a learning school for all of us, like us as the young guys that were working there, like me, Nathan, Elvis. But it was also a learning moment for like the founders, Jefferson, Hussein, up there, because also they didn't know everything.
Yeah.
For them, it was all like completely new as well.
Yeah.
And like there were no systems in place, like literally like logistics and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in fall winter 2017 collection, I remember me and Nathan had to manually upload all of the orders in Excel with like these special barcodes and everything, manually every order, a separate Excel sheet, and then upload it into a system so it gets picked and packed at our warehouse or our distribution center. And this was so intense.
Yeah. How long did that take you?
Well, luckily for us, it was only that one season that we had to do everything manually. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds insane.
Yeah. But also, like, I remember when we had, like, I think this was also 2017 when we just transitioned to another office at, which is funny because Complex was also in the same area later on, but near Van der Madenweg, Amstel Business Park. And our whole like warehouse was also there. So it was the office and warehouse was in one space, but it wasn't that big.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this archive sale that we were doing. And at the time, it was just, all of us were still young. We were all still learning. And there were no like major budgets or whatever. So during the archive sale, we would like get some of our friends to come by to come help pick and pack for the archive sale. And we would just give them some clothing.
Yeah.
Like that's literally how it all started. Those are like some of my fondest memories.
Yeah, I was just going to say that sound like great memories as well.
Yeah.
You also worked on bringing the brand to other countries. I think because I've studied your CV. And
you saw my LinkedIn, you read everything.
Yeah. But you also brought the brand to other countries. Can you name a few, and how was that to be a part of like an expanding brand internationally?
Yeah, so at first it wasn't like really strict, and everyone was just like Nathan would have his clients, I would have my clients, but we would also like help each other in other countries. We weren't very region specific. Like he would do this region, I would do this region. We would just mix it up. And but at one point that shifted. So then he had his regions, I had my regions. Someone else had their regions. And my focus point was the UK, Spain and Portugal, but also like, I don't know how to describe it. So I'm just going to say the EMEA market. So Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So I would have this store in Riyadh, so in Saudi Arabia, called Crowdless. But I would also work with Selfridges. I would work with flannels, and we would do like all these types of activations with them, make SMUs, which some of these big department stores love.
Yeah.
They love
For someone listening who doesn't know what an SMU is,
a special markup unit.
Yeah.
I think that's what the abbreviation stands for. But it's basically when you make an exclusive for a customer or a client. So let's say you have this beautiful Raf Simons shirt you have on right now, and we make a specifically orange color for one store that's only available at that one store. Yeah. That's what a SMU is.
That must have been great to kind of work on all of these things that have, kind of brought the brand to where it is today.
It was beautiful times. Beautiful times.
You have crazy detailed memory, by the way. In 2022, you decided on a career change. You left Daily Paper. I can imagine working there 7 years in total. It was kind of a big decision.
It was.
Yeah. How did it come about?
How did it come about? Well, I was just at the time looking around because fashion is one of my passions, but I also love media and I also love music. And I was just like, yo, I'm here for 7 years now. And I kind of feel like I also want to develop my other interests, my other passions. So I was just looking around, and then I saw that Complex, the Netherlands, had just opened up, but I didn't do anything with it. But I know that a friend of mine was working there. And then literally the universe works in mysterious ways. But then
True.
a short time after, the friend of mine that worked there, Armin Shah, he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I'm looking to fill this new position at Complex the Netherlands, and I think you would kill it. And
you went and killed it.
I was gonna say one thing led to the other, and then I ended up there. But yeah, then I went there, and
yeah, you killed it. Yeah.
Thank you. If you say so.
Yeah, definitely. So. I mean, yeah, you mentioned like fashion is your passion, but music is also, right? So, but working at Complex, you also are still involved or were still involved in the fashion industry throughout media.
And the music industry, which is why, and media, which is also one of my passions. So it was like the perfect blend of everything that I liked.
Yeah.
And it was also just a young team. We were like literally all of us were still learning at the time as well. And we had like one older person. He was like the operation manager, Gaetan. And he was like the one with like experience. And the rest of us were all just like winging it. I mean, to be fair, no, other people did have media experience. I'm pretty sure actually I'm the only one that didn't. Yeah, because the others, they worked at Ballin. I had another colleague who worked at 101 Bars. I had another colleague who worked, where did she work? Something in media she did before, and now she's actually the head editor chief editor at Phoenix.
Nice network that you've built up there as well.
Yeah.
So what does creative lead mean? So you left Daily Paper from sales and moved into this role, creative lead. What does it mean?
It's basically the same thing as a creative director, actually, because what I did or what I was responsible for was creating and developing new concepts, like for YouTube content, social content, whatever, and also partly sales, because we would also have to pitch these concepts to clients, such as Adidas, Zalando, Red Bull. Like a lot of pitching went on actually. So it was actually a combination of like creative work and sales work at the same time.
Yeah. For anyone listening who's thinking about switching industries, which is what you did, do you have any tips?
That's a good question. Any tips? Don't be scared. Embrace the things that are about to change in your life, and know that if you enter a new industry, it's normal to not know things yet. Like, you're gonna learn while you're there.
Like me recording this podcast.
Like you recording this podcast, yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice and wise words. Next to doing sales, being creative lead, and now freelancing, you've also launched a DJing career. What's your DJing name again? Soft launch.
Soft launch.
What are your goals with the DJing career? Soft launch.
Yeah. So my DJ name is DJ Baba Chulo, which is like a combination of my both backgrounds. Baba means dad, daddy, or father in Arab or Egyptian, because I'm half Egyptian. And Chulo means like handsome person in Dominican slang. or Spanish. So I'm Dominican and Egyptian, so I combine those two. Baba Chulo, originally from like the song Papi Papi, Papi Chulo. And that's how that started. And I actually, how I started this? That was the question.
What your kind of long-term goal is?
My long-term
with this.
goals.
Yeah.
So what I want to do with this is partly why I got into it was embracing my heritage more, because I was learning about like Afro-Caribbean history, learning about the history of the Dominican Republic, the history of Cuba, and the origins of like all these different genres of music. And based on that, I actually also started writing for What's Culture, like this online platform. It's basically my favorite online platform at the moment, them and Versus. And I was just, what I want to do with this music is I want to share, like do more storytelling, share like my heritage, share the stories of the Afro-Caribbean. And also I want to like develop this whole music career. And I just want to do more, with my music, I want to be able to put a smile on people's faces, make sure they forget about like whatever bad times they're going through, and just for one moment in their life or of the night, just smile and be happy and forget about all the, can I curse?
Yeah, please.
Oh, forget about all the bad shit.
Yeah. Shit's not a curse word.
Oh, just checking.
You can get worse.
Just checking. And I also
nice, yeah.
I wanna produce more music. So right now I'm experimenting with making mashups, which is still like baby steps in the world of production. And together with my cousin, I actually already made an edit, which is already a more higher skill level as opposed to just making a mashup. And I just want to do more of that.
Nice.
Bringing worlds together.
That sounds nice and inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah. You work in front of the camera a lot because you interview people a lot, and you were recently named in JFK magazine as Dutch It Boy. Do you feel any pressure knowing that you're quite visible in this world and people see you and view your work?
I don't really feel any pressure, I would say. It's just nice to get this kind of like acknowledgement of all the work you've been putting in all these years, and people finally seeing it, and me finally reaping what I sowed all these years, basically.
Yeah. You also work, besides working in the Netherlands and local, you also work quite international. You just went to Japan to interview the founder of G-Shock.
What a crazy experience that was.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how was that?
Okay. How it was? Well, let's start with the backstory first.
Yeah, I mean, crazy.
So the year before, I was just working on projects, and I would also meet up with like all these different PR agencies, get the relationship going, building relationships with some of these PR agencies. And one of them was with Leroy Asnam. I forgot the name of his agency right now. That's so bad. I know he's gonna kill me for this, but I will. But his name is Leroy Asnam. Amazing person, like really, really a nice guy, which you don't really have a lot of in this industry because it's really cutthroat. But while I was doing a project for Hugo Boss, I was helping them out with their store opening, did VIP dressing, guest list, helped them curate the sounds of that evening. So I did the bookings as well. And during that night, he told me, hey, I have something for you soon, but I can't tell you what it is yet, but it's going to be special. And then I was like,
thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, what do you mean? Like, just tell me. Like, don't act all interesting and stuff. And then a year later, he finally reached out to me again.
A year later.
I'm saying a year later, but this was like October
Oh, yeah.
And then he reached out to me January,
Okay.
something like that.
Still exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very exciting. And then he called me and he told me about the trip to Japan that he was organizing, like this press trip with other Dutch media, So they brought me along. They brought Numero, they brought Vogue, Elle, Glam Cult, and Mot. And Mot. And it was just this insane like dream come true, because actually the year before I already told my colleagues I really want to go to Japan.
Wow.
But then I heard how expensive Japan was.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if my pockets can handle this yet. And then this came along. So it was like a dream come true, and it was really amazing. And I'm so grateful to Leroy for bringing me along on that trip. And also to my colleague Gaetan, because at the time I wasn't working for Complex anymore. And this was actually a Complex trip. But because of the relationship that I had with Complex and the relationship I had with G-Shock and Leroy, they allowed me to go. And I got to interview the founder of G-Shock. Yeah, man, that was insane. Ibe-san.
How was it?
Ibe-san. It was funny because it was like we traveled all the way to, I forgot the name of the city.
To Japan?
In Japan, but I don't know what city we were in for the interview, because we traveled with the train to another city to do the interview, to one of the Casio / G-Shock factories. And it was all of us like gathered in this room, and then the founder was sitting over there. So Kiko Ibe-san, he was sitting over here with the person responsible for the female department of G-Shock. And so that's Baby G, and the person that was responsible for designs on G-Shock. And the rest of it was basically like a classroom, and the rest of us were like sitting across from them. And everyone would like have like you would raise your finger and you would be able to ask a question.
Yeah.
That's basically how that went.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was like, they were so nice over there. It was like so different to hear, because they were just so nice. I don't know how to explain that, but it was just like really good people.
It's their culture. I've been to Japan once. I feel it's the culture also of it being so different versus what we know here. It feels more warm and different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's amazing. You've worked with a lot of fashion brands. You've already name dropped, and rightfully so, because you've worked with amazing brands. You also already mentioned that fashion is your passion. What kind of draws you into this world?
What draws me into this world? I think for me, where it all started was probably Kanye West and his pink polos, to be honest. Yeah, because when I was in high school, I just remember like all I would listen to was, I would listen to DJ Fato Gonzalez, but I would also listen to Kanye West and Kid Cudi and Jay-Z. Those three were like my favorite artists at the time. And I would just look at the way they were dressing back in the days, and I was just always so inspired by that. And then fast forward a couple of years, and then I see, like here in the Netherlands, I see people like the guys from Daily Paper with like this completely different fashion sense, because at the time they were wearing like, I would call it like a punk meets hip hop type of fashion, where they were wearing like Dr. Martens with like crazy hats, like Nazir Mazhar hats and things like that. And I was just so compelled by that. And then I also, at the same time, I also saw the guys from Pata, which also came in from like a completely different angle.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, both of them they look like me, which is very rare in like fashion at that time.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I really got drawn into the world of fashion. Seeing Daily Paper and seeing Pata.
And looking up to
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really nice. This season of Brand News is in collaboration with Winkelstraat.nl, and their brand goal is to help you own it, whatever your it is. And owning it means embracing the things that make you different and investing in fashion pieces that give you confidence, which I know
Such
you do.
as this Raf Simons shirt you're wearing right now.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, I've been wearing it for a long time, and I'm going to continue to. I enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is from Winkelstraat?
I actually don't know where I bought this. I bought this a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if that's from Winkelstraat, they need to send me a code as well.
Yeah. I was going to ask, what is like a moment in your career that felt like you were like owning a decision or really taking like the step towards what you wanted to?
I would say that would be the main thing was the project I did with Levi's this year.
Yeah.
The Levi's Taylor Thursdays. Because that was a collaboration with Levi's, their agency, Ona, and myself.
Yeah.
And Complex. But I was basically doing the work from Complex and myself.
Yeah.
By myself, kind of. And then the editorial work would be done by Complex. But that was like the whole concept I developed together with Ona. And but all the artist curation, for instance, that was in large part me.
Yeah.
And then, for instance, guest list and VIP dressing, that was me together with Ona, the agency.
Yeah.
And the whole marketing, PR aspect of it was also me and Ona. And I feel like that was like the main project I worked on that I will remember for the rest of my life, probably, because that one was really special to me.
Yeah. So you've beat me to it because I was going to highlight this project.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry. You also had a question. How did that project happen?
Yeah. But I was going to say.
Do you still want to know?
Yeah, I do. I was going to say I want to highlight because you brought their global Tailored Thursday to the Dutch market, which is a huge accomplishment. And you highlighted emerging talent from 3 different genres: hip hop, R&B, soul, and Afrofusion.
Correct.
And whilst I was deep into your LinkedIn and Instagram, I noticed you summed up some of the things that you did for this project. Okay. Concept development.
Yeah.
Project management.
Yes.
Artist curation. Artist contracts, guest list creation, VIP dressing, creative direction for the videos, review, written and visual content.
Yes.
I mean, the list seems to go on and on. And I'm super proud of you because it's amazing what you've done.
Thank you
I
so
was
much.
there and for one of them because you did 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was super inspiring. Also to see that you did this in collaboration with such a huge heritage brand and brought new and emerging talents from out the Dutch music industry and gave them this platform.
Yeah.
How did you get into this?
So, how did this happen? Funny story. I was actually at Daily Paper. Not working there, but I was just visiting.
Yeah.
I was visiting Sunny, who works at the PR department there. And I was just in the showroom because it was their press days, I believe. And funnily enough, 2 people from Ona agency, or at that time worked for Ona agency, Stephanie Gonçalves and Theo Bacana.
Yeah, Stephanie's also been on the podcast.
Stephanie's amazing.
I love her. Yeah.
I really love her because she's amazing and she's really also just a genuine person. And she's actually the one that helped hook this up because at the time I was visiting there And I was just having this conversation with Stephanie and Theo, and I was just telling them that, hey, I'm available for freelance bookings if you guys ever want to work on a project together. And then a couple of months later, they reached out to me with like this opportunity to work on this project. So I'm eternally grateful to Stephanie, definitely 100%, Theo, and the whole Ona agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the fashion thing is familiar for you, the media, the music, but is then like artist curation, is that something new for you, or had you already done that? Because that's a big part of this event, right? The artist curation as well. Yeah.
Well, obviously when I worked at the complex, we were like in tune with what's happening. We are like, I mean, complex isn't here anymore, but I am very in tune with like the music industry, the entertainment industry here, and everything that's going on. Like I'd like to believe like we were extremely tapped into what's happening in our culture here in the Netherlands, and so we had this item called Artist to Watch, which basically already highlighted upcoming artists. So what we did was actually just combine the whole Artist to Watch concept, with the event of Levi's Tailored Thursdays. So basically what you would get is this kind of 360 moment for the artist, because they get like media exposure, they get a performance, they get to do a campaign with Levi's, like a brand, kind of like a brand deal, all in one. And for some of the artists, like this was the first time they would do something like this. And it was just this kind of unique experience, just in a cozy setting in the Levi's showroom, basically here in Amsterdam. And for instance, the some of the artists performed acoustic. Giri, for instance, who was amazing on the guitar, and his bandmates as well. And that's kind of what we were going for, like offering artists like this whole 360 experience, and also offering the crowd something, kind of something new, while also combining this with product.
Yeah.
Because this was all about, the first night was all about their whole baggy collection that they launched at the time. And then later on, we would just have it as a whole for all Levi's product. But the first one was really centered around their baggy collection.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think it was very successful. Like I said, I was there, and it was, the energy was really good. And I can imagine like the network that you've built up over the years from like 2015. It was very visible, what you've achieved also, and the people that were there. Yeah.
Well, let's take it a step back, because it was successful and everyone was happy.
Yeah.
But it also had a lot of learning moments. For instance, it was the first time that Levi's was doing something in that space, like something like this.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what the maximum capacity was.
Okay.
So the first one, we had a max capacity of like 120 people, something like that. And we still had there was still a lot of space left.
Okay.
That could have been filled.
Yeah.
Which was a learning moment for us, because hey, there were only 120 people. Next time, let's do it a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Invite more people so that it's actually full. And the whole project had kind of like these learning moments where you're just learning together. And I feel like that's also essential to like convey in these types of interviews. Just also let people know, hey, it's not all successful. It's not all. It's also learning moments, learning together.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add that. Sorry.
No, sorry. That's a really valuable thing to ask. And one of my questions I also have is, everyone obviously sees you in front of the camera, and you're an outspoken person, and the work that you do is very visual. I feel, in a positive way. But I was going to ask, is there anything that, any struggles that people can't see which happen behind the scenes that you can share?
Struggles that happen behind the scenes. Well, I would say like during my tenure at Complex, we operated on a whole system that they called only built if sold. So only if we sold a concept or a pitch to a customer, then we were able to develop it. So we would have all of our YouTube formats were only built, we would only get to develop them if we got a sponsor to do the show. And I feel like because of that, we had to chase brands, obviously, but also you had to change things up as opposed to building your own show first and then having someone tag along. You're actually changing everything according to what the customer wants.
Yeah.
And for a media outlet, I feel like you should be as how would you describe that? You need to be as or I would say organic. It needs to be like an organic format because you like to do this, because you think this is interesting, because you think, oh, this is what people are passionate about.
Yeah.
Without thinking of what a client wants or what a client needs, or hey, they want the logo like this, or they want to add this and this, this whole super commercial thing. It needs to be like, as organic as possible. And I feel like that's if it's as organic as possible, even if it starts out small, it will eventually grow, and you will eventually attract a client that is interested in doing this. And then you can actually go on with this format for a longer period of time, because a lot of the things that we did were like 6 episodes max, and then that was it.
It sounds like you have also built up a lot of experience, even though you are at the start of building something yourself, right?
True.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I feel like we're all constantly learning and developing as we go. Like I'm still relatively young. I'm 29. I'm in no means know everything about every subject yet. I just want to know. I want to learn. I want to develop myself. That's why I'm trying out new things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying out DJing, just to see like, oh, this is what this world is about.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how you get ahead. Oh, this is what makes me like a DJ set. Oh, this transition is crazy. That's a transition. That's what makes a DJ set.
Yeah.
Kind of. And I feel like if you try out new things, you also get to learn about the craft more, different types of crafts more, and you get to actually value those things as well.
Definitely. So you've been in sales management, you've been in creative lead, you're now freelancing, and you're a DJ.
Yeah.
What does the future hold for you?
That's a good question. Right now, I've been writing, doing some workshops here and there. Did something for Vogue Netherlands. Did something for What's Culture, and obviously the project with Levi's.
So
I just
casual. I did something for Vogue. Yeah.
No, I wrote for Vogue.
Yeah.
I wrote for Vogue. I wrote a Vogue diary for them, which I'm actually really excited about because it's my first time that I get to be featured in Vogue Netherlands, which is like this super prestigious thing. Like I feel like every editor wants to have like that one check.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Vogue.
Yeah.
Next up, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something else. And right now I'm just in my creative consultancy era. So I'm reaching out to clients, trying to figure out if there's any projects we can work on together. Just the same way how I landed the Levi's job, basically. Just connecting, talking to people, catching up, doing the whole coffees.
Yes.
And that basically.
Yeah.
That basically.
Nice. And what about in like 5 years?
In 5 years?
Is that what you think about? Or you're more like I'll see where life takes me? I don't even decide what I eat in the evening. So like I don't plan anything.
I actually don't plan a lot either. And if you look at my whole trajectory, everything kind of fell into place. Everything, I wouldn't say fell in my lap, but everything just happened organically. Like,
it's like it feels to me like you're trusting the process.
I'm trusting the process.
Yeah.
I'm trusting whatever God or the universe is putting me through.
Yeah.
Like whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. I think that's a really great note to end on.
But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I'm not focused on doing certain things, because I want to do more creative consultancy. I want to do more music. I want to do more in media. I'm not sitting still in any means, but I'm just at the same time not putting a lot of pressure on myself. Building like these 5 year plans, etc.
Yeah. I think that's it obviously suits you working this way, and you're doing really well. So congratulations on everything that you've achieved by now.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure that you'll be on to achieve more great things.
And I wish the same for you.
Thank you.
So what are your next steps, Miss Charlotte Emily?
Oh, that's so sweet. I'd really like to build this podcast out to something bigger. I obviously started it as I did 10 episodes by myself, basically, and now I'm doing it with a sponsor, which I'm really enjoying. And
Make some noise.
Yeah. And I'd really like to build that out, to do it for more companies, and give voices, or make sure that people's voices are heard in positions that are maybe not like usual or normal in
not
that
the
sense.
usual suspects.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's also why I invited you, by the way, because
Thank you.
Yeah, you've achieved amazing things, and I'm really glad that everyone has gotten to hear what you've been up to so far. So thank you so much. It's been super inspiring.
Thank you so much for your time and for having me.
Of course.
And good luck with everything you're doing.
You.
I know you will flourish.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
make some noise.
Thanks.
The production team, make some noise.
Thank you to Winkelstraat.nl for our partnership for the second season of Brand News, connecting international retailers and emerging luxury brands with the trendsetting youth of today. Check out their platform for all things luxury fashion.